let's talk about that incredibly fine line between caring for our parents and, well, controlling them. It's something a lot of us stumble into without even meaning to. Let this one sink in for a second. It almost always starts from a good place, right? You just want to help, make sure they're okay. But this is where this shift happens, and it is so, so subtle. It can sneak up on you before you even know it. So what does this look like in real life? Well, it can be something as simple as this, a comment about their food. Hey, Dad, you sure you want that second piece of cake? Or maybe, Mom, that's a lot of salt. It feels like you're just being responsible, right? Just looking out for them. But it's often the very first step onto a slippery slope. And from there, it kind of expands. Suddenly, you're not just commenting on food, you're managing their whole day. You're setting up their doctor's appointments, you're sending reminders about their pills, maybe you're even planning out their walks. What started as a helpful suggestion has now become their schedule. And you're the one in charge. And then, before you even realize what's happening, it's everything. You're weighing it on their finances, their social life, who they hang out with. It's not just an opinion anymore, is it? It feels more like you're, I don't know, vetting their choices, like you have to give the final stamp of approval. So this is the question we really have to ask ourselves, and let's just sit with it for a second. When did that flip happen? When did you stop being their child and kind of become their supervisor? Look, this isn't about guilt or blame, not at all. It's just about awareness. Because you can't change a pattern until you can actually see it. Okay, so if you're recognizing some of this in yourself, you're probably asking, why? Why does this happen? Well, let's dig into the psychology behind it, and spoiler alert, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're human. The first big idea here is something called role reversal, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's this unconscious flip where you, the adult child, start taking on the decision-making and caregiving role for your own parent. You don't just wake up one morning and decide to do this, right? It creeps in, usually because you're scared or feel like you have to, and suddenly you're in a role you never signed up for. And this goes hand in hand with another concept called overfunctioning. If you feel totally wiped out all the time, this is probably a big reason why. It's when you take on way more responsibility than you need to. Not really for them, but to manage your own stress. You're trying to control everything around them to quiet down your own anxiety about their future. And let's be real, it is exhausting. I mean, absolutely draining. You've already got your own plate full, right? You've got your work, your life, maybe you're working on your own stuff, your own healing. And now, on top of all that, you've basically taken on a second full-time job as your parents' manager. An unpaid, emotionally heavy job. This really gets to the heart of it. That urge to control, that micromanaging. It feels like love. It feels like care. But often, it's really just our own anxiety trying to find a way to feel safe. We're trying to build a perfectly controlled world for them so that we can finally calm down. Okay, so that's the what and the why, and just seeing it is a huge first step. So now what? How do we fix this? Well, the good news is there is a path forward, and it all starts with a really important mental shift, a reframe from superiority to support. Let's break down what that looks like. On one side, you've got this superiority mindset, which is really about control. You're supervising, you're correcting, you're making decisions for them. But on the other side, you have support, which is all about connection. You're assisting, you're listening, you're respecting that they're adults who can make their own choices. The entire goal is to consciously shift our actions from that left column over to the right. And this is a reminder we might have to tape to our bathroom mirror. They are aging, they are not incompetent. Their bodies might be slowing down, sure, but their minds, their life experience, their personhood, that's all still there. We have to remember that. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's about caring deeply without taking away their dignity. It's about letting them be the authors of their own lives, even if we wouldn't write the same story. Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it in the moment? It's not like you can just flip a switch. It's about making a few small but really intentional shifts. Let's walk through a framework that can help. Number 1, just pause. Seriously, the next time you feel that impulse to jump in and fix something, just take one deep breath. That little gap is where you reclaim your choice. Number 2, ask, don't assume. Instead of just taking over, try something like, hey, it looks like you're busy with that. Do you need any help? The difference is huge. And number 3, focus on connection over correction. Ask yourself, what's more important right now?
being right about the salt, or actually connecting with my parent? 9 times out of 10, it's the connection.
And if you take one tool away from this, make it this one. This single question can transform a conversation. Before you launch into advice mode, just ask this. It hands the power back to them. It shows you respect them enough to ask what they need. It's an instant pattern interrupt that moves you out of the supervisor role and back into the role of their kid who's there to support them. All right, let's pull the camera back a bit and go one level deeper. Because for a lot of us, this whole dynamic, this need to manage and control, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It often has roots that go way, way back. This can be a really big aha moment for people. Our need to control our parents now can often be traced back to a childhood where we felt powerless. Think about it. If you grew up feeling like you had no control, no safety, it makes perfect sense that as an adult, you'd try to overcorrect. You're unconsciously trying to create the secure world for them that you never had for yourself. It's like trying to heal an old wound by putting a bandage on someone else. And that brings us to maybe the most important reframe of all. Taking your power back does not mean taking power over someone else. True power, real strength, isn't about controlling other people. It's about having authority over yourself, your own reactions, your own anxieties. That's where the real work is. So the goal here isn't to finally get your parents to listen to you so you can stop being anxious. That's still a form of control. The real goal is to find your own calm, your own centered authority, no matter what choices they make. It's about shifting from being a frantic manager to just being a calm, loving presence. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What does true support, not control, but real support, look like for you and your parents, starting today? Just one small thing. What could that be? The answer is going to be different for every single one of us, but just asking the question, well, that's the first step toward finding your way back to each other.